We are actually almost at a half a year of the Weekly Take podcast being on air. This has been fantastic. I love this podcast. This is episode 22. Welcome to the show, guys. We got a lot in store for you guys, but you know what? Let me tell you a personal story of what's going on in my sports world. You know, I've been taking intramural sports pretty seriously lately, and you know, I've had the same team for the past 2 years, for the past year and a half. Me and my buddies, we've been doing football, and we've even done volleyball. Volleyball did not go well at all. But here's the thing. We always get to the semifinals, and we always pretty much lose in the playoffs. But this season, we are in the championship, and that championship is in an hour and a half from now. And we're going for the championship, and I'll for surely let you guys know what the outcome of that is. If you guys have me on Snapchat or Instagram, you guys will be able to see probably relatively quick what happens. This is Weekly Take, episode 22. Welcome once again. Speaking of football, Broncos send Case Keenum to the Washington Redskins for a 7th-round pick. I mean, no. Case Keenum and a 7th-round pick for a 6th-round pick. You know, this is a good thing. I think this was a really good, move by them because, Case Keenum was not going to start over my guy Flacco. And I just think Flacco's more proven than Case Keenum. Yes, Case Keenum got them to the NFC Championship. But that was on a miracle, and they took that in for a factor, and then they brought him to Denver, and he didn't do too great over there. So Flacco's the man over there this year. So they get a 6th-round pick from that. Maybe they can pick up some good, something good. Denver needs a lot of help this year. That division the division ain't helping with San Diego and Kansas City being themselves. San Diego, though, I feel like they're really hot or cold. Like, they could be a really, really good team, Super Bowl contender, and then they could be like a 7-10 or 7-9 team. It could very well happen, and I've seen both of them as an NFL fan, and I'm sure you guys have too. But another big question the NFL has this year, or this upcoming season, are the Giants that dumb to move on from Odell Beckham Jr.? This guy is a face. He's the face of your franchise. He is the best player on the offense on the team. I would put him above Saquon. And they're thinking about moving him. Why are you breaking up something that doesn't need to be broken up on? These guys are a quarterback away from being contenders. Let's quit acting like Eli Manning is the answer. Yes, he was a couple years ago, but not anymore. They need to find a quarterback badly. They got the running back. They got the receiving core. They need a line, and they need a quarterback. Address those two this draft. Maybe next year or the next year you guys would be even better. But then you got to start thinking about paying Saquon, and that's not going to be cheap. And they just let go Landon Collins, so they're obviously prepping for someone's payday. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. You do not move on from a player like Odell Beckham. That's just not a thing that you do. I got one of my very close guys, my guy Rob, big Giants fan. Shout out to the guy. And his heart would be breaking if Odell, moved. And, rumors are saying possibly Oakland, Cleveland. If he goes to Cleveland, reunites with Jarvis Landry, the LSU guys, it could happen. But I just hope he stays in New York. He's a New York type player. He's, he fits good there. Don't move the guy. So that addresses the question with cutting Landon Collins. Are safeties going to be paid this free agency? We got a lot of big free safeties going into the free agency this year. We got Landon Collins, Earl Thomas, HaHa Clinton-Dix, LaMarcus Joyner, Tyrann Mathieu, and Glover Quinn. These are big names in the free safety world right now. And the new rules are messing up the safeties' money. This offensive rule to let these people score are making these safeties look unvaluable. And that's fucked up, man. I truly believe that these rules are taking away money from these free safeties. That's not cool. Because these guys are probably one of the most talented people on the field at any time. You look at a guy like Ed Reed, that guy was moving around making plays all the fucking time. Earl Thomas, Landon Collins, HaHa Clinton-Dix, LaMarcus Joyner, Tyrann Mathieu, and Glover Quinn are always making plays on the defensive side of the ball. Regardless. You pay the free safeties. So that goes to show how much do you pay these free safeties. Okay, first of all, this is how it's going to go. You pay Earl Thomas the most amount. Then you pay Landon Collins the second most amount, and then everyone bases their paycheck around them. That's how it's just going to go. Right now, you look at a guy like Earl Thomas, and it's hard to not say he's not the best free safety in the league. I know he's just coming off an injury, but when he was playing against Dallas, he had, 2 picks? Yeah, I'm not saying nobody else in the league is great, but he's definitely the bar to set. Or he's the safety that sets the bar. So, free agency is everywhere in this year, and weekly take, we like to take free agency a little more seriously than the combine. Not a big combine guy, but we got a couple of big things to talk about for the combine before we move into the NBA. But first, should Jordan Howard leave Chicago? We talk about this. I think we talked about this on episode 17, where we talked about Jordan Howard and how they don't like to use him in Chicago, which I don't know why. He's a very good running back. He's fast. He can truck. He's got a good card in Madden. This guy's a solid running back. He should leave because they're not utilizing him. Bring him to Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. That'd be a good signing. Miami needs a running back. Maybe watch Houston pick him up. I could see Houston picking him up and having him and Lamar Miller split some reps. That'd be pretty cool to see. But there's a lot of teams that would need a running back at least for 2 downs. I'm not saying a future running back, but right now Jordan Howard could be that for some team, or maybe even very well be the starter. But yes, Jordan Howard should leave Chicago with how he's been treated. Nick Foles to Jags. This is going to happen. I think it's truly going to happen. The Jags are a big, good quarterback away from being contenders in the AFC. I truly believe so. I think this last year was just a flunk year. And the year before that, they were going against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. So I don't think it's that hard to figure out what the problem is in Jacksonville, and that is definitely the problem. Get a slightly better offense, and you guys will be fine. That defense is going to carry you far enough into the playoffs where Nick Foles, get him in the postseason. That's all you got to do. I think it could happen. It could definitely happen for Jacksonville. So we got some notable cuts for the NFL right now. We got Browns cutting Jamie Collins, Ravens cutting Eric Weddle. This is AFC news. AFC North news. Jamie Collins is a great linebacker. He's been great ever since he came from New England to Cleveland. But I just don't see this cut. Maybe someone picks up Jamie Collins. He's a solid pickup. I truly believe he is a solid pickup. But, I look at the other thing. The Ravens cut Eric Weddle, and as a Ravens fan, I look at this and I see they're saving $6 million on an older free safety. Somewhat it's a good move, but at the same time, Eric Weddle's a very stand-up guy, cool guy, just from what I've watched. He's a cool guy to have on your organization that helps make the AFC North not look thuggish. You look at the AFC North, look how many guys have come out of that division that are just causing trouble. Mike Tomlin stepped on a damn field. So that division is not, helping. The Ray Lewis case, the Ray Rice case, the Vontaze Burfict case, AB doing stuff in the locker room, like FaceTiming during a meeting. It's Le'Veon Bell. It's just not looking good. You had Johnny Manziel. AFC North just is not looking like a credible place for good stand-up people. They got Villanueva in Pittsburgh. He's a cool guy. But there's a lot of cool guys that a lot of people aren't recognizing, but it's just the AFC North likes to focus on the bad. So the Ravens also signed Nick Boyle, which I do not really make too much sense. He's a good run blocker. Maybe that's why they wanted to do that, to establish the run with Lamar, rather than the passing game with Mark Andrews and Hayden Hurst. Maybe that's what their idea was, but I really don't see signing Nick Boyle, even though it could very well work out. They know more than me. That's for damn sure. 49ers decide not to pick up Pierre Garçon's option. Why don't you pay the guy? Who are you? Who do you expect to carry your offensive unit this year? Are you going to get DK Metcalf? Well, you could, but are you going to pick him at 2? No, you're not, and you're definitely not going to get him the second time your second pick rolls around. So I don't know what 49ers have in store for. Actually, I do know what they got in store. They're going to pick up AB. Yep, it's happening. AB's going to the Niners. They're not picking up Pierre Garçon's option. It's happening. Speaking of the Combine, DK Metcalf from Ole Miss had 4.33 40 speed. And people are all over this. And, I am a big fan of people that do pretty good at combines. But at the same time, I would rather watch the game film because, and I looked at some of Metcalf's clips, and yes, he has some very great plays. But then at the same time, people are really hyping up this 40 time, man. Like, I know it's fucking impressive and how big he is. But, man, I hope to see that in the game. And then also Keenan Williams betting on himself that he'd run a faster 40. He runs a 4.83, one of the biggest guys to ever run that fast from Alabama as a defensive tackle. Dude, they are doing something right over in Alabama. That's for damn sure. These guys are bred. These guys are bred to fucking play football, man. I don't know what it is about all these Alabama defensive players especially. They're doing something to them, man. Their moms are giving them something, and it's in their food. I don't know what's going on in Alabama. So that's all I really got for you guys on the NFL. Moving into the NBA side of things, we got LeBron passing Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. So let's go through the all-time scoring list. We got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 38,387 points. Then we got Karl Malone with 36,928 points. Kobe Bryant with 33,643. LeBron with 32,311. And Michael Jordan with 32,292 points. LeBron just surpassed them this week. It was a very emotional game. We had Rajon Rondo pouting on the side of the bench. But Rajon Rondo came out and said, this game's not about me. Let's talk about my teammate LeBron. And that was a very class act. I believe that him doing that is just a class act. And especially, looking at this all-time scoring list, LeBron can be number one. But as long as he's on for him to do that, James has to deliver at an incredibly high level. He has to continue to drop 25 a game for the next few seasons, and then using 25 points as like his basis, he's going to need to play at least 230 more games to pass Abdul. So he could definitely pass Kobe, and he could definitely pass Karl Malone. But with the math side of things, I looked it up, and did some calculations, not all of them. 25 points, and then about 22 for the next 4 years, and he could do it. That's assuming he gets that many that, he doesn't get injured, and then he could get faster too if he scores more than 25, which is a very big possibility. But the Lakers are limiting his minutes right now. They're like, all right, man, we're 6 games back from the 8th seed. We might not make playoffs. Let's just rest LeBron, which isn't a bad idea. But I didn't think I would not see LeBron in the playoffs this year. So maybe they did need some help, Lakers. Anthony Davis probably would have got you guys to the playoffs, just saying. But he's probably coming next year. So that's either said nor there or whatever, however you say it that way. Steve Kerr is upset on how the Warriors have been playing at home, and do you blame the guy? The damn Warriors run around like they're at recess, fucking around until it's the last end of the season and they start trying in the playoffs. Kerr says, the Warriors fans better play at home. And yes, they do. They need to stop fucking acting like they're at recess, playing around, shooting from half court, being goofballs, when they should be treating this like a fucking sport because their team is that good that they could afford to goof off and win games. That's insane, but still give the fans what they want to see. They want to see some passes. They want to see some good rebounds. They don't want to see all this crazy, laziness. Nobody wants to see laziness when they go to an NBA game. Are you kidding me? So, in the NBA world, we're on the eastern side of things. We got D'Angelo Russell tearing up the league, kind of, honestly. He's doing a great job. My opinion on this guy right now is he is definitely worth a pretty good contract. And if Brooklyn doesn't pay him, it's going to be weird to me. I won't say shocked, but I won't be surprised either. Maybe if he does this for the rest and maybe gets into the playoffs. I don't know if they're actually running into the playoffs. That's actually bad that I don't. But D'Angelo Russell, my opinion on him, and he is doing fantastic. I am a big D'Angelo Russell fan right now, especially on 2K when I get to play him. He's just kind of fun to play with. He's got a good, he's guards in 2K this year are pretty more lenient, I feel like. Pacers. Eastern side of things is just open since LeBron left. Let's be honest. Pacers have won 10 of the last 14 without Victor Oladipo. Bojan Bogdanovic, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, Thaddeus Young, Tyreek Evans, Wesley Matthews have all been playing great basketball. And let's not forget, Doug McDermott's on this team too. This is a good team without Victor Oladipo. Imagine if he was there. These Pacers are not the same zero drop and Roy Hibbert postseason Pacers. These Pacers are pretty good, and people should be worried about them. You know, I'll be honest, I wrote off the Pacers as soon as Victor Oladipo got hurt, but they are proving me wrong game after game after game. So, with that being said, the East is just really being controlled by Toronto, though, with Marc Gasol in addition to Kawhi Leonard, Danny Green, Kyle Lowry. That is a tough team to beat, and if the Pacers can give them a run, you best believe next year when Victor Oladipo comes back, it could very well be their East. But also in the East, Gordon Hayward he's doing all right. He hasn't really been shining too much, and then he just hit a game winner, but he also fouled Buddy Hield prior to that and almost lost them the game. But why is everyone surprised all of a sudden that Gordon Hayward is good? Like, did we forget when he was an all-star in the West side of things? And where did all this oh, wow, Gordon Hayward, whoa. Yes, he's been in a slump, but how much do you blame the Celtics head coach for that instead of him? This guy's a good player. He's proved himself. He's a veteran, or not veteran, but he's an experienced NBA star. Why are we acting like it was like a Jeremy Lin thing again? Because it's definitely not, if you ask me. So that's all I got for you guys on Weekly Take. It's been a shorter episode. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got intramurals coming on. We got all this fun stuff, But Weekly Take is never not going to happen. So don't believe just because it's not a longer episode that I'm not going to be covering the stuff that you want to hear. If you guys ever want to come on and talk sports, let me know. I'm a message away. Come find me on Instagram, SoundCloud, anywhere. You want to hear my opinion on anything? Not tweet at me, but shoot me a message. Anything. You want to... Anything. I'm tired of saying message me and anything. But this has been episode 22. These episodes are now older than me. 21 years old. Episode number is at 22 now. We're moving into the great things, guys. It's almost we're at a halfway there until the year. So until then, until episode 23, I am your host, Dominic Joseph, and this has been Weekly Take. Thank you guys for listening.